What's up everyone, welcome back. Today we're talking July bass fishing and baits that you need to have this month. These are kind of universal, stuff that works all over the place, north, south, east, west. Let's talk about them now. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you like this content. This channel is about bass fishing, tackle, things like that, new things. There's a lot of topics to talk about, but let's actually talk about some baits that work in July. Now, every region is a lot different. You know, I've lived in several parts of the country. I've lived in Florida, I've lived in Washington State, and now in Texas, and also Nevada, where I grew up. So I've been all over the place, and July means something completely different for each of those regions. But I'm gonna try to keep it universal and talk about things that work no matter where you live. So July, it's a great month. You know, you got 4th of July, summertime. Cannot talk about July without topwater. No matter where you live, topwater is a thing. And we're going to talk about some of my favorite baits that have been working for me this year and kind of styles of baits that have worked for me forever. A buzzbait. This is the Accent Jacob Wheeler buzzbait. It's a really good buzzbait for a toad. It's what it's meant for. It does come with a skirt, but I love this thing. This is the Berkeley toad. I actually pull the legs. There's like kind of like curl tails. I just rip them so they're straight like that. I think it just has a little bit better action, but I have been using this and catching a bunch of fish on this buzzbait late June, and it's still going to work in July. I mean, plus it's just a completely awesome bite, catching fish on a buzzbait. So got to have a buzzbait, whether it's a toad style one or with a skirt, can't go wrong with either. But this Accent Jacob Wheeler one is really, really good. And I'll put links to all these baits below to purchase at Tackle Warehouse if you're interested in checking them out. But buzzbait was the first thing I thought of because it is such a fun bite. A couple other fun bites also on topwater are plopper style baits and frogs. Now I've done reviews on both these. These are kind of unique. These are both from Depths. So this is the Depths Evoke Zero. So it's a plopper style bait. It's not cheap, it's 50 bucks, but it's a really good quality popper with super sharp quad hooks on it. Really like that plopper. It has a different sound than you know, your standard plopper. So if you like that style bait and you're looking for something a little different, check out the Evoke Zero. Same with this frog. I mean, really you could use any frog, but I've been fishing the Slither K a lot. It's just a different looking frog. It walks really, really, really well. It's got that rabbit fur. This is also a premium bait from Depths. But really, you can use any frog, any plopper, and any buzzbait. Those are just the ones that I've been using and having success with recently, and they're gonna continue to work for me into July, probably all summer as well. So some other tried and true things for July are soft plastics. They work great, especially as the bass go a little bit deeper. And you can do that with a couple different approaches. You can go big, you know, you got the old monster and the big power worm 10-inch. You know, these are great for dragging around on a Texas rig or Carolina rig out on offshore structure, you know, humps, long points, things like that, grass lines, a big worm, even brush piles. It is just a great way to catch summertime bass. These are two of my favorites. Put a Texas rig on there, you know, with a 3/8 ounce weight, and you will catch fish dragging the old monster or the big power worm around. It works great during the summer. So for a more finesse approach, you got to go with the Dropshot, and really Dropshot could fit as a best bait for any month in my opinion. It is something that I always have a few of them rigged up, and depending on where you live, you want to kind of adjust your worm, the soft plastic based on the fishery. So if you're targeting largemouth, can't go wrong with a robo worm. You know, this is a 6-inch straight tail. I love this thing in Aaron's Magic. Of course, you can use Morning Dawn, really whatever color you want, but it's hard to beat a 6-inch robo worm. Now I said largemouth, but it still works great for smallmouth as well. I would just use a 4.5-inch, but this is something that's worked for me forever. So Aaron's Magic is my go-to color. Now smallmouth or super clear water, I would say you want something like this. The Powerbait Max Scent Flatworm. It is a incredible bait. This is the black color, which black is a color that you don't really hear about a lot as far as the solid black. It works great in clear water because it's really natural, but it also shows up in stained water. Black is an awesome color to use for jigs, soft plastics, anything, straight black. So really like that on the flatworm. Again, this is a perfect bait for smallmouth. Plus it's got that Max Scent attractant in it, the scent, so it's a really good tool for catching smallmouth because of that added scent. Now before I shot this video, I dug around in the bottom of my boat to kind of show you some proof of what I've been catching fish on. Look at these. These are ripped up Strike King punch bugs. If you have a lot of matted vegetation, you cannot beat a punch rig, and this has been my favorite bait. This is a Plum Crazy and then Green Pumpkin. These are the ones that I've been using the most. I got 1.5 ounce weight, punching into hydrilla. It has been such a fun bite throughout June, and I'm gonna continue doing it all summer because the lake closest to me has a lot of hydrilla and those bass are in there. So if you want a bait that slides through really easily, the punch bug does, especially because of the compact shape of it. It slides right through the grass, which is better than a bait that has a lot of appendages, you know, like a brush hog or something like that, or even a beaver. It slides through a lot better with something that's streamlined like this, the Rage Punch Bug. I'm kind of wrapping it up to some of my finesse options that I've been catching a lot of fish on in late June that are going to continue working for me. You got to have a small swim bait. I really like this one, the Mayor from Crush City. It's a 3-inch bait. I use the Kitech 2.8 as well, kind of interchangeably, but I have really become fond of this because it is so much more durable. So I bought a bunch of packs of these because they work incredible. This is just the gizzard shad color. It's just a basic shad pattern, you know, nothing too special, but they are a lot more durable than the Kitech, and they have a little bit tighter action. So put this on a, you know, 3/16 or 1/4 ounce head, throw it around, reel it in. For those suspended bass that are eating shad, it works great. So speaking of suspended bass that are eating shad, if you are into the shaking minnow, these baits are hard to beat. This is the Jackal Drift Fry. I've been talking about these since last September. They are an awesome bait for shaking a minnow. When you shake it, because of the design, they kind of roll side to side, so you get kind of that rolling, flashing action as it goes. So you can use this for your forward-facing sonar, but I have caught fish with this without forward-facing sonar, just casting and shaking on weed lines, on points, things like that. No matter how you're doing it, it looks just like a fish coming through the water. I got it on a little ball head, but you can use any head you want. I'd say start with about 1/8 up to 1/4, and it's a great technique for catching suspended bass, which during the summer months happens a lot, especially when bass are chasing shad. So that's kind of a top to bottom approach of what I've been catching fish on, what's gonna work for me this July, some of my favorite baits. You can see they're all different kinds of brands. Again, I'll put links below, but let me know which baits you use in July. You know, there's so many things working in this time of year because the water's warm, the fish are active. It's a great time to go fishing, but these are proven baits that work and will catch fish for you this July. Thanks for watching.